ask you guys, and you have to pick one. Okay? You got that?
Pick what?
Well, I'm going to throw it and give you two things. You got to pick one.
Oh,
Okay? This is from our guy Mike over here. He gave me these good. So let's just have some fun with this. All right. You got to pick one. Practice or a game?
Practice.
Why?
Well, that's where you can teach. You know, you can get your ideas across and get kids to work hard so you can get better. So I'd definitely rather, practice. The fact is, usually when I lost, which was frequently, I could hardly wait to get to practice the next day.
Really?
Yeah, that excited me. That got me going.
Coach, practice or a game?
Practice. I enjoyed teaching too, and this is a teaching aspect. And there's certain things that you want to know who you're going to be playing, and you got to get to practice. And it's nice to look back over the years that you coached, and you have a Division I kid. Let's watch what Kevin does on this, and then the kids can pick up on that. I look around at some of these teams now that are recruiting all kinds of Division I kids. Look at all the things you can do, offensively, defensively, multiple things. But teaching during the practice, that was the best thing for me. More so, I think your dad was the same way. We both enjoyed that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to say practice also, and mainly because you're in control of the whole thing. Come game time, you're partially in control, but not completely in control, like you are in the practice session.
Whitey?
I think it's close, but I agree with the guys. I think practice was enjoyable, but not to take anything away from the games, because those were fun too. You try to make adjustments, and you try to develop some team spirit in the way you handle your subs, and so and then you look at the scouting report, and so I agree with the guys. Practice, but don't lower your estimation of games. I love those.
Offense or defense? Offense or defense?
I'd go toss up on it. If you say, well, are you a defensive coach or are you an offensive coach? Well, my answer is yes. So I really, took a lot to importance in defense, and I think all the guys will agree to that. If you can't play defense, you're going to have some problems. So on the other hand, when I had that Cooper bunch that went to the state, I remember going over to scrimmage Coon Rapids when they had those two big kids.
Tom Copa?
Yep. And the other one?
Kevin Trainer.
Nice, Kevin. Nice job. So we're going over there. And,
Kevin Trainer, yeah.
And I can't, that's really great. And, it's going to be a good scrimmage because they both went to, I think, Division I, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Marquette.
And I think Trainer went to like Western Illinois.
Yeah,
Smaller.
And you remember the coach's name?
At Coon Rapids, I don't remember him.
Gagnon? Or
Jack Gagan.
anyway, when you talk about offense, he played straight up man in the scrimmage. And we had referees and everything, and he had this good team. I mean, I don't know if they went to the state or not, but it was a quality team with good personnel. And this offense, we ran this high post UCLA offense, and just clicked. I mean, everything worked. And he'd maybe switch this or switch that, and we'd have a counter. And the coach called me the next day, and he said, I didn't sleep a wink. He said, that's the worst I've ever seen my team play defense, and it's the best I've ever seen anybody run their offense against that team. So, I had a lot of fun both ways.
Offense or defense?
Well, I think defense, like you normally say, your defense should be more consistent. I mean, you might have an off night on offense, but if you play a good defense, I would assume that it should be pretty consistent from game to game. And so, which is more important? I don't know if that was the question, which is more important.
Oh, just, you got to pick one, offense or defense. So
I think the defense is probably the most important.
Superior College had the first coaching clinic I ever went to. And I just graduated, and I had to pick up Adolph Rupp at the airport in Duluth. And he comes down, and he starts talking about what to do. And he says, offense wins games, defense wins championships. And I've quoted that over the years.
Yeah.
Always stuck in my mind. And I thought, well, that sounds good. So many reasons you can't score, but you can play defense, stop the other people. And so we always spend, my practice plans were 60% defense and the other part offense.
Yeah, I was the same. Defense was more of a challenge. And I think it probably, I enjoyed coaching defense because I wasn't a very good defensive player when I played, so I thought I could still learn. But yeah, I just much rather, yeah, it's an idea of effort again. You know, anybody can be a good defensive player. I believe that. I strongly believe that. But I don't know if everybody does, but I do.
all right, next one, zone or man-to-man?
Well, you're looking at me, I guess. I played zone for years, but if you talk to my players, we spent the first 40 minutes working on man-to-man defense, and you don't play a good zone unless you play man-to-man.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then Jake would throw in all kinds of variations we have to be covering. And the quick little steps here and there. You don't have to run the whole thing to the floor to play defense. But that was it. And then you've got somebody that wants double, of course, and a good player. So there's a lot of varieties you can do with it, but I enjoyed the zone. My son, however, plays almost all man.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
All right, next one, blowouts or nail-biters?
Come again?
A blowout game that you're coaching or a nail-biter? A close game or a blowout?
Well, is there any question?
Not, you tell me.
I'd love the blowouts. Yeah. And,
I had one once.
yeah,
Definitely the blowout if you're the one that's doing the blowing. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
All right, next one, home or away? And let me before you guys answer this, when I was with the Charlotte Hornets, I was in the NBA. Larry Johnson, who was the first pick in the draft that year, I was talking to him one day. We were drafted the same year. He told me one time, and he played at UNLV, and they won a national championship, right, against Duke. They blew out Duke in 1990, and he was on that team. He said he used to love going into other teams' gyms and beating them in front of their own fans.
Yeah.
He said he just got a kick out of that.
Yeah.
And they had such great talent on his college teams at UNLV, and they won the national championship. But that always kind of stuck in my head, and it kind of made me think of my high school days going into another gym, or when I was at the U playing at Minnesota, how much fun it was to go into Wisconsin and in front of their own fans to beat them. So, home or away? Which one do you guys choose?
I always prefer to play at home.
there's no question.
Yeah.
Home.
I would too.
Yeah, definitely.
Another one, Williams Arena or St. Paul Civic Center?
Williams Arena.
Williams Arena.
Yeah, there's nothing like Williams Arena. That floor was so good to play on.
Next one, Magic Johnson or Larry Bird?
Ooh, I got to answer that one. Did you see the documentary on Magic and Larry Bird that's come out now within the last 5 years? I don't recall who's interviewing them, but they're interviewing those two guys. And then they showed clips of their games, and I just couldn't get enough of that. And one clip was, well, Larry said to Magic, you remember the game where I decided, and this is a little, maybe a downgrade to the NBA, but he was going to play the whole game and shoot nothing but left-handed shots, Larry. He got 27. And you know, Magic and him started talking about that. It was, if you ever get a chance, take a look at that. Those two guys were amazing. I just like Larry Bird as a player. I mean, he was a clutch player, but boy, how do you beat Magic, you know? So when you ask the question, that's probably the toughest one you've asked. I just can't. I give a little nudge to Bird.
Was that one of those 30-minute things or something
Yeah,
on television?
yeah,
I watched
30 for
every one of them, yeah.
yeah,
I like Bird too.
yeah. He was amazing.
Bird.
Bird?
Well, I'll be the different one then. I'll go with Magic.
All right, here's another one. Half court or fast break?
Fast break.
I prefer fast break.
Early offense.
A little bit of both, whatever you can get away with. If you
Right.
can get the fast break, take it.
Craig?
Yeah, that's a good question for me. I think half court.
Half court, really?
Yeah, just 'cause, I don't know. I think you got more control there, but I don't know. I might change my mind on the way home. Can I call you back?
Just call me, yeah, when you're driving home. Next one. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
I like Jordan.
Yeah, I like Jordan's game
I do
better.
too.
Yeah. MJ.
MJ? All right. All right, here's the one that applies to Minnesota high school basketball. A 2-class system or a 5-class system?
Two, George Stoll has the right idea about, before the season, send everybody a trophy. At the end of the year, if they don't feel they deserve it, they'll send it back. But 2 classes, I mean, you water things
Is that
down.
George Stoll's statement?
Yeah, you water things down so much, it's,
Yeah, I think too. Better for basketball, better for kids. I think you challenge more.
I say 2 also, but I really prefer 1.
Really?
That's what I
Well, the
thought.
question was 2 or 5, wasn't it?
Well, 2 or 4, it's 4, right? 2 or 4.
Oh, 2 or
Current system, I guess, has 4.
Okay.
Well, here's another question. If you guys could make a change to how they run the state tournament, and that would be a part of it, you could change how many classes there are, what would you do? What would you change? Like if you ran the high school league and you could make this a change or two, what would you do?
Well, I have a lot of confidence in what they're trying to do over there philosophically. And you can be negative about 4 or 5 classes, but it's pretty universal, I think, in our nation that states are running multiple classes. Is that, do you think, a true statement?
Probably.
Yeah.
I have not gone to a state tournament in 5 years because I don't like all-star games
Yeah,
and all of the trade, kids transferring and everything.
yeah. So, in lieu of the facts and developing interest in the game, well, you always think about one class and little Edgerton coming in and knocking off the big boys. But I think philosophically, I'd vote for multiple classes.
But now with the transfer system, the same schools are usually in the running because of the talent.
That's it, guys.
I got one.
Oh, here we
It should
go.
all be at Williams Arena. That's what I think the state tournament should change to. All the games should be at Williams Arena.
Yeah.
This is what I do, if you guys care to hear my idea. It's at 4 classes now, go to 3 classes. Have the top 64 size schools in the top class, the next 64 size schools in the middle class, and then everybody else. So you have 3 classes, and it's all down on campus at the U. So you could use Mariucci. They've had high school basketball games in the hockey arena. Williams Arena for the big class, and then the pavilion right next door to Williams Arena for the middle class. And so you'd have a big quarterfinal Wednesday. So if I want to watch Hopkins or Jefferson or whatever in Williams, but then I can go watch Bram play, right, I can walk right outside the door and go to the next building to watch, I can see everybody. But now you can't do that because they have one set of games at the Target Center, but I'm missing games over at Williams Arena because I have to drive, or it's just I can't see everybody play. Whereas if you have it on one spot, then you can just move to each. I want to watch the first half of this game, and I'm going to walk over here and watch the second half of the small schools.
What's the high school league's feeling about making a change, something similar? Are they receptive?
Obviously, there's issues like rental at the U of M. I guess at Minnesota, at the university there, they charge a lot more to rent than they do the Target Center. And then the big thing is why they have so many classes is the philosophy of we want as many kids involved to experience the state tournament as possible, which makes sense to everybody. But at the same time, it's not quite as special to win a state championship because there's 4 winners. So that's what I think, but I'm not in charge, but I'll tell people if they ask.
Well, you just think about it. They still talk about Edgerton. Everybody knows that, but you can't tell me who won last year's. I mean, it meant so
What
much.
class?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's special, and that's what it should be. It should be special.
Thanks, guys, for coming.